How's everybody doing? Let's get a little bit of music going. Hey, hey, Grant, welcome, welcome, welcome. Jim, hello, hello. We'll give it a couple minutes, let everybody jump on. Who's going to jump on? Matt, welcome. So tonight's going to be a little bit different. My guest tonight, unfortunately, had something come up. Hey, Killian, we see you there. Thanks for joining. So we're going to actually talk a lot about veteran resources tonight. So if you've got any veterans in your family, any friends you know that are veterans, make sure to share this right now with them, especially if they're here in Middle Tennessee, and we can get them some resources to help them with. Well, appreciate that, Jim. Yeah, love to have him or his wife, whoever, give me a buzz. We'll see about getting him on for a conversation. That'd be awesome. How's everybody been? How was everybody's week? Do anything fun and exciting? Let's see. What did I do this weekend? I don't think I did much. Just kind of prepped and um, did a little bit of this and that this weekend. Hey, Colin, thanks for joining. All right. Woohoo, woohoo. So. Maya said, yep, that's awesome. Uh, yep, tell everybody hello, hello. I bet, Colin, your little one, it's already over a month old. Time is just flying by. Killian's got some time going there. Finally, a little break in his schedule. That's good. So tonight's going to be a little bit different for those of you who missed the initial intro. My guest tonight, unfortunately, sent me a message. He's not able to make it. He had something come up that was pretty pressing that he needed to take care of. So we're actually going to talk about some resources for veterans. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to actually put a link out there for whoever wants to join me in talking about this kind of stuff. And let me just throw that out there right now. So if anybody's out there wants to join me, feel free. Yeah, it is absolutely wonderful to see everybody out there supporting the channel, supporting our veterans. So thank you for that. So, um, how many of you out there listening and watching have veterans in your family or friends that you know are veterans? Throw that out there in the comments for me. And just kind of a thumbs up if you do. And just kind of a little nod to them and make sure you let them know that, we certainly all appreciate their service and their sacrifice over the years. So I want to start off and talk a little bit about Operation Stand Down. So Operation Stand Down is based in Middle Tennessee, and they go basically from one north border all the way to the southern border of Tennessee, and again, just within Middle Tennessee. And there is the link for them. So Operation Stand Down, I don't have a whole lot of information. I mean, I have some, but I do have kind of an impact report from them back from 2016. So to kind of give y'all a little bit of a heads up on what they do and how they do it, let me change that just a little bit. There we go. Back in 2016, they helped 2,104 men and women veterans um, in their veteran service centers. So that's pretty impressive. And again, this is several years old. This is just the latest data that I have that came out back in 2016. But I think they are still using this information. This was what I picked up at Vet Fest when we were out there about a month or so ago. And then 86 cents of every dollar that they collected ended up going directly to serve the veterans specifically. They had at that time 955 veterans, and they contributed to over 6,000 hours at the service center. So that's basically having 2 full-time staff members that's here within Middle Tennessee. They had 140 veterans that they had found or upgraded their employment through their employment department with an economic impact of roughly $7 million for Middle Tennessee. So that in and of itself is pretty huge, I think. So we want to definitely thank them. They said that they've got 560 veterans that had received over 3,100 free clothing items, and 108 men and women veterans that participated in their transitional housing, and 66% of those left successfully. So definitely want to give a big shout out to them for everything that they're doing for our veterans here in Tennessee. They're open, the Veteran Service Center's open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 4:30, and from Friday from 10 a.m. to 4:30. So they help with so much. They have, they help with personal ID, referrals to specific community agencies, VA benefit counseling, legal assistance, the DD 214s, military record assistance, transportation, clothes, personal care items, things of that nature. So, so that's pretty nice. Let's see. I do have a little bit of additional information about them. So, Operation Stand Down also helps with urgent needs. So, if you're struggling financially, maybe they need some minor car repair done or a bus pass to get themselves to work, Operation Stand Down can certainly give them a hand. They help with career services. So, this is for those who are close to leaving active duty. So for those of you out there listening right now, and you might need a little additional help in finding something to do when you revert back to civilian life, certainly can give them a call. They aren't sure what, especially if you're not sure what job you really want to go into, or if you want to meet some other veterans who work in Middle Tennessee, you can do that. They have a transitional housing program that I talked about. So if you know a veteran who is maybe sleeping in their car or on a friend's couch and is struggling to find any kind of affordable housing or even a safe place to stay while they're looking for that housing, you need to get a hold of Operation Stand Down. Again, they're in Middle Tennessee. They also have a transitional housing as a short term for veterans. They have what's called Operation Connect, that connects veterans with their community to help the transition from military to civilian life also. They can help you figure out and learn what VA benefits you've earned through serving your country. If you need to file for a VA disability rating, they can also help you with that. And then they have transportation resources, so they might be able to help with some minor transportation needs. Again, if it prevents you from keeping or gaining your employment. And then they have Operation Commissary. Now that's going to assist the veterans who are experiencing any kind of food insecurities here in Middle Tennessee. And they're going to help with some short-term food needs. They'll provide connection to community resources for food. And if you're in need of food immediately, you can go to one of their Operations down veteran service centers directly, or locate a local Second Harvest food bank. Now, they're not currently offering any direct mental health services or services they do have some services, but they're very limited for any dishonorable discharge help. So you can also, if you want, as I said, I think I've got right there their website. You can also call 615-248-1981, and they can help you. Just let them know what you're looking for. They can certainly walk you through what they're able to do for you in that regard. So that is Operation Stand Down here in Middle Tennessee. The next one, I think this one will be pretty interesting for a couple of guys I know that are soon to be veterans. It's called Guitars for Vets. And that one I think is actually pretty interesting. It's a Nashville, Tennessee chapter. And according to this is who they are. Guitars for Vets. It's a national 501c3 nonprofit. It operates more than 100 chapters in over 40 states. So this is not specific to just Tennessee. Since 2007, they've refined a guitar lesson program. It provides veterans living with challenges of PTSD and other injuries. So that's great. Their program has over 500 volunteers that deliver the mission at Department of Veteran Affairs facilities, community-based medical centers, vet centers, and veteran service organizations. So they're able to help the healing with music. So they're putting that in the hands of our veterans by restoring, the feeling of joy and purpose that you guys might lose after having, suffered any kind of traumatic experience. So I think that is just wonderful. So far to date, it says that they've administered over 50,000 guitar lessons. That is extraordinary. And that's strictly to the veterans that they have provided those lessons for. They've observed many ways that the program's enriching lives of the veterans suffering with mental, physical, and emotional distress. So from the sounds of it, there's been better social interactions because of the program, a substitution of music for substance abuse, things of that nature. So if you're interested in that, you certainly can go out, check them out. There's their website. They often do ask also for donations if you can do that, because they are a nonprofit. I kind of like that. I think that's actually a really brilliant idea. Let's see, what do we got going on out here? Tennessee Goddess, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I went ahead and put the link out there for backstage if anybody wants to join me, has anything they want to add. Christine, how's it going? Thanks for joining. You want to come backstage? You can certainly come on and maybe give us a little insight into what your resources were that you had getting out. If you need me to repost the invite, feel free. Just let me know. So vet jobs, that is another resource tonight. Again, just to let everybody know, so my guest tonight unfortunately had something come up that was pretty pressing that he needed to take care of. So he'll be on again. So we were going to get him rescheduled. And then next week we have a great guest who is also an Army individual, Army vet. So pretty excited to have him come on board next week as well. So vet jobs, what are they? Well, there is the link if there's anybody out there who is looking for a job. So it's endorsed by the Vietnam Veterans of America, Naval Reserve Association, Veterans of Modern Warfare, Student Veterans of America, and Hope for Heroes. And let's see, what does this say? It's totally free to transitioning military veterans and their family members. Leading military job board on the internet, especially for jobs requiring security clearance. It's got the largest worldwide jobs database of employers who want to hire veterans and their family members. They have employee assistance, an employee assistance section, which has extensive materials on how to launch a job search, successfully pass interviews, help with writing resumes, cover letters, and other information when you are doing a career search. They've got a career advisor and some career testing that's going to help you in determining kind of what's the best option for you when you're looking for a job. They said, an extensive database of resources also for veterans. Let's see. They have what's called a Veteran Eagle career newsletter too, and I'm going to assume that also will post different jobs that might be available out there. And they do have some military job related job fairs that they do. It's again for members of the military family, so that's officers, enlisted, and civilians, along with their family members of the United States Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, the DoD, the Marine Corps, Merchant Marine, National Guard, the Navy, NOAA, Public Health Services, and Reserves. So that is a great resource for anybody looking for a job who is a veteran of any of those. Christine, you don't want to comment now? So in the state of Tennessee, there is the Tennessee State Veterans Home. And let's throw that up there. And let's tell you a little bit about them. So they support those who have honorably served our country, including the families. They have homes that are located throughout the state. They're recognized for their modern amenities, outstanding programs, and continuum of care. They're saying they have highly skilled staff and especially trained in providing the physical, emotional, and mental support veterans might need. They are part of the VA healthcare. Well, no, excuse me, they are not part of the Department of Veteran Affairs. They are actually considered a state entity. And let's see. This is something, of course, you can, and if you need a long-term care, if you need skilled nursing or therapy services, they can help with that. So if you're recovering from some kind of significant illness or injury, or even a surgery, it's even more difficult, of course, as our veterans get older. They can help find assistance until you're well enough to return home. Long-term care consists of their 24-hour RN care and multidisciplinary team that develops an individualized care plan for every resident. They work hard to ensure residents receive the highest level of care possible in a home-like and supportive environment. So they've got a lot of veteran camaraderie. They've got extensive activities and programs and weekly trips that they offer. Social services, as well as fresh food options. Those are available 24/7. They have pharmacy services and psychiatry, dental, podiatry and eye care, on-site barber and beautician services. So If you know, and they also do have facility-owned transportation too, which is huge because a lot of our older veterans may need that in order to receive some of those benefits that are out there for them. So make sure if you know of anybody, again, that might need a little help, let them know they do have some services in Clarksville, in Cleveland, Tennessee, Humboldt, Tennessee. They have one in Knoxville as well as here in Murfreesboro. So their phone number here in Murfreesboro is 615-898, or excuse me, 895-8850. They have different numbers on these flyers. So we picked these up. Actually, Jason and I went and picked up all of these when we had gone to Vet Fest about a month or so ago. And we were able to get quite a bit of information for our veterans. And so we want to make sure that we share that as well as we can and get that information out there. So again, if you know of any veterans that are out there that might need this help, feel free to pass this along. I am going to go ahead. I'm going to put the link out there again. If anybody is out there that wants to join me, has any questions that they want to ask or that I might be able to answer, feel free to come on backstage. We'll get you in and get some questions going. So let's see, the next one we've got. So there's AMVETS, that's the American Veterans. And actually they're out there, they've got quite a bit of different programs. I think we've picked up like 3 different flyers for their programs that they have out there. So let's talk about a little bit about those. So the first one, I mean, they're all pretty much the same. You can go out there to AMVETS, and that is amvets.org. They are a volunteer-led organization throughout the country. They're so that's actually a nice little thing there. They support, of course, women in military service to America. So as well, so they actually do put a spotlight on women in the military too, because a lot of times I think we think military and we're thinking just men, but really there's a lot of women out there that are going through the same kind of issues in trying to go into back into civilian life, the same kind of issues that the men go through. So they do put a spotlight in that regard for the women out there. They're helping veterans in any way that they can, and they actually go so far as to work on legislative process as well. So we have them. They are at 877-726-8387. So if you are looking at something like that and you want to see what they're about, check them out online. They have also another program through American Vets that is from 2019 to 2020. It's the National Commander Jan Brown's project. It's a Save a Warrior project. Looks like it's kind of a 1-week thing that they do. And it's committed to ending the staggering suicide rate plaguing our veterans, active duty military, and first responders. So they basically have a retreat that they open up, and it looks like it's 1 week. So that actually is pretty interesting. They also have some aftercare as well. So definitely recommend anybody out there to take a look at that. So Christine, Vet Fest it basically it's a festival celebrating our veterans, and then the veterans actually all get together, the different organizations, and they have a parade of veterans. So the veterans will walk wherever they have that, which we weren't there during the actual parade that they had. Unfortunately, we weren't there that early, but and then they have little booths. So a lot of these programs that I'm reading, the majority of them are actually very localized, small resource centers, or if you will. And so they put these flyers out. Some might have hats or different things, t-shirts, things like that for sale. And then the money that they earn for those kinds of things, they put back into the program to help other veterans. So it's a recognition of those veterans that have served. I know that's where my very first guest that I had, um, Mr. LaPrade, he was actually there, and that's where I met him. Um, so that's Vet Fest. My understanding is it's done once a year. I don't know. They also have music and little booths and um, some food trucks, things of that nature. So it's pretty neat, and you get to meet some really interesting people, have some really good conversation. Um, Looks like we're Jason. We're going to go ahead and bring him on.
Hey guys. Hey, I just wanted to pop in on that a little bit as well. What was there was actually pretty incredible. There was a lot of one guy that was there. I think it was like Operation Agent Orange or something like that. And he's a nonprofit. He was over in Nam, and he's got a form that veterans that were over there can fill out and actually get a medal that states for Agent Orange, the chemicals and stuff like that were in Vietnam. And I think he was out of Kentucky, but I'm sure she's got a thing on that as well. And then their card. But I mean, they had reenactments in a way. They had different music. They had country singers. They had older rock singers, stuff like that. They had a big stage. When we got there, they were actually just as we walked in, they started singing the Star Spangled Banner, and local firefighters were there. They somebody played. I think they played Reveille. Somebody was
They
playing
did.
Reveille as well. It was a great place to meet veterans, and then like for us, it was great for us to see. We want to support as much as we can anyway with our boys in there. But even before that, we were always willing to support anyway. But um, the firefighters that were there to help out, the police officers, there was a lot of military police that were they were there. But everybody that was there had some kind of some way to help vets out, either so there was one there, I won't bring it up, but they do legal help in the Middle Tennessee. One guy that we met there was very open about it, and he had some help from them. And so there's just a lot of great resources for people to, not even just vets, but everybody to go out so you can see what is out there for our vets to have conversations with different people or different outreaches for them to gain help in any way that they can or need, or give help, volunteer to help, to help their brothers and sisters from the military. So, but it was in Franklin, and it was just a quiet little corner. It was a beautiful little
Yeah.
setup. But everybody was very willing to talk with you. I mean, you didn't even have to be military, but they were willing to tell their story, help you out in any way they could. So I can only imagine if you were a vet, how much they would be willing to help you too. So, but it was just a um, really good gathering for that. So.
Yeah, 100%. I know we had a lot of fun just going from, one booth to another, and talking to people, learning their stories. I know I spent, gosh, I don't know how long talking to um, a master gunnery. sergeant there. Just wonderful people all the way around. Everybody just so caring of them, the veterans there. Of course, it's just like everybody's a family, and it doesn't really matter there what branch you're in.
Yep.
So when, next time we go, certainly Christine will let you know and meet you there, because I think it's great to be able to help them, support them. I know we bought a couple of hats and things like that so that we could support them as well, and help them give back a little bit to those that they're helping. So
Yeah, there were some ladies there. They were making the quilts
mhm.
to support one of them. I don't remember which one it was. We never made it that far down with talking with a few others, but that was just really cool to see. Um, Actually, I'll bring it up. Grunt Style was there, and
Oh yeah.
the three ladies that were running it and owned it, they were all veterans. All three of them were veterans, and so it was really cool to talk with them as well. And then Phil and for your first guest, Phil had a great story. And what he does is just crazy with the Vietnam vets of for Murfreesboro, that chapter. But he travels to Clarksville. He travels all over to help them out, help other vets out by building wheelchair ramps, or
Yep.
just anything and everything. The guy was just busy, and so it was. I know he struggled to make it to your show that night because he had been
He
doing
was
that all day.
exhausted.
He
He
was
was so
tired.
tired.
Yep. So,
But
but just knowing they're there is great for everybody.
yeah,
That they can reach out for help.
he sent me a picture, actually, it might have been a week ago, of he and another volunteer and a completed wheelchair ramp, which was really cool looking. They did a really good job.
Mhm.
Ron, welcome. Yes, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Give us a like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
All right, I'm gonna leave here and let somebody else jump in if they want. I just wanted to add that just to kind of help you out and help you with Christine's question.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm kind of didn't end up having a moderator because I didn't know kind of what all was I was going to do today. It was kind of an interesting day. Like I said, my guest that I had unfortunately had some things come up that he had to take care of. So I thought today would be a good day to kind of go through some resources. And talking, actually going back and talking about what Jason said, the grunt style, they're actually at the mall in Nashville. And so they had given me this bumper sticker for any of those. And I thought, oh, this was just pretty cool. It's a little bit backwards though. Here, let's see. I'm not sure how I can flip this. Basically, it says, warning, may tell war stories. I thought that was pretty appropriate for this channel. So, um, yeah, okay. So anybody else, if y'all want to jump in backstage, I've put that link out there. We can bring you on if you've got some questions you want to ask. Certainly feel free to do that. We were talking about the American veterans. So it's basically veterans serving veterans. They have the Tennessee chapter. They've got all sorts of different things. So they've got an American Vets Heal Team. They've got scholarships, ROTC awards, community service that they do. They've got a career center. It says that they provide all 8th grade students in Tennessee with a U.S. Constitution. That is huge, in my opinion. Americanism, student programs, volunteer services at the Tennessee VA hospitals and veteran homes. So I think some of these smaller um, little programs that are out there for veterans, I think that they really need our help when it comes to keeping the funding, because it's not that they're not funded necessarily, of course, by the government. They're doing this because they understand what it's like to be a veteran and they want to help. So next time you run across one of these, make sure that you let them know that you appreciate what they do. I'm sure you guys do, but they do have also, let's see, this is the Vietnam Veterans of America. And then this one, you actually do have an application for membership that you have to fill out. And they advocate on important issues to all veterans. They look to qualify health care for veterans. They've got a full range of disability, injury, and illnesses that they identified that were incurred during military service. They have, looks like they kind of put the feet to the fire for government agencies and holding them accountable for following laws that are mandating veteran health care. So that's great. They have, looks like they're trying to do positive public perception for our Vietnam veterans, and they seek the fullest possible accounting of America's POWs and MIAs. So obviously that's a huge one. Not sure how many are still missing in action. I would presume probably from the earlier wars, there's probably quite a bit still that are unaccounted for. And then they're also supporting the next generation of America's veterans. So they do actually have several committees too. So they have the Agent Orange and dioxin, as well as other toxic exposures. They've got a Constitution Committee, an Economic Opportunities Committee, a Government Affairs Committee, Homeless Committee. Looks like they have a committee for incarcerated veterans. They've got the Membership Affairs, Minority Affairs, the POW MIA, PTSD and substance abuse. They've got quite a bit. Women veterans, veterans against drugs. Yeah. So hopefully some of this information will help benefit. And there I've got the link up for you now. And then it looks like they do ask some questions that you would need to give them during your application, and looks like possibly a copy of the DD-214s as well. So that's quite interesting. It's really interesting when you start reading through all of this and the different information that's out there. It's a lot. They offer a lot of the same stuff, but just, I think funds will determine what the extent is that they can offer. So let's see. And then I know I talked about this on, I think maybe one or two of my shows. Hey, G23, welcome. Thanks for joining. So the one that I talked about was the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury's property relief program. And they do have a disabled veteran homeowners program, as well as a widower of a disabled veteran homeowners program. So yes, y'all give us the thumbs up. We'd love to have that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Also, don't forget about making sure that you click the notification button so that you get any additional content that we might have, and so you're aware of when each one of the shows is. Thank you all also for being here. For those of you just joining, my guest unfortunately had some things pop up tonight, so we will have him on again at a later date. I do have my guest set and ready for next week, so very excited about that. So yeah, so as far as that goes, if you own your home and you use it as your primary residence, the Comptroller of the Treasury here in Tennessee can help with that. Oh, and we've got Christine coming on.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Staying busy, of course.
What are you up to?
Just got through eating finally.
Oh, good, good.
No, for the ones that don't know, I'm a Navy veteran. I was with 9/11. Um, just
Thank you
found
for your
out that my baby cousin's going Marine Corps. He signed up 2 weeks ago.
exciting.
Everyone except his parents. His parents ain't feeling it, but it's
Yeah,
all right.
and right now it's kind of a rough time too because of the turmoil that's happening.
Yeah, he signed up the week after the bombing, and he did not discuss it with his parents first. But he had been saying for years he was going. He's an ROTC, top of the line. He knows his stuff. He has talked to me many times. He has talked to my friends many times. It's not a lighthearted decision he made.
Which is
So,
good.
yes, and that's the one thing I firmly believe about the ones going in is that they don't make the decision lightheartedly. When I work in an adult high school. Our people are 17 and up, and when they come to me about the military, my first thing is, you got to do it because you want to do it, not because you got to do it.
This is very true. That is
So,
absolutely true. Yeah.
But you were asking what? Sir, I'm sorry, I'm in the car, so if I fade in and out, that's why. My husband's driving. Nathan says hello.
Hey, Nathan.
Unfortunately, I'm one of the veterans that have had problems using the military services actually since I've been out.
Okay.
When I got home and tried getting VA benefits, they told me I made too much money.
I made too much money.
And my husband was the only one working at the time, but because we were married, it went over their threshold. So VA hospital benefits was not a privilege I was offered when I first got home. I have been able to use my GI Bill. And I've recently found out that what I have not used in my GI Bill, I can disperse to my children. So I'm in the process of getting that information.
Well, that's good. Now, have you gone through, what state are you in?
I'm in Tennessee.
You are in Tennessee. So
Yes, ma'am.
have you gone to Operation Stand Down at all?
No, I'd not heard about it until actually I heard it from you.
So,
and that's the other thing why I'm enjoying your content so much is because even though I'm a military veteran, there's some veterans that get all the information. There's some veterans that don't.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's where your content is helping so much.
So, we have a comment for you here. And so Jim says, I don't understand how a monetary amount qualifies someone that served our country. Can you expand on that, please?
When we got together,
when I got out of the military in 2003, they had changed the standards for. It used to be if you were a military vet, you automatically got all benefits. Mm-hmm. Well, in 2003, when I came home, they changed it to income based. Because I was married, they not only went by my income, but my husband's income as well. So because we made 25 cents,
it was like 40,
over the threshold. It was 25 cents.
I thought
over
it was 40, 46 cents, something like that. Yeah.
Not for the military. Not for the medical.
Okay.
It was like 25 cents over. They would not let us have medical benefits.
Or they wouldn't let you have medical benefits.
So that was not something that they allowed. Now things have changed a little bit since then, but since then I've been blessed to have a job that provides my medical for me. So now it's not a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I do get a. They have sent me some pamphlets recently saying that I can get military medical now, but it's something I'm still looking into to see what exactly it all entails.
Yeah, definitely take advantage of the phone number or the website for Operation Stand Down.
I will.
I do know of one person that actually was able to get his benefits increased by going through them. So,
well, the other at the time too, I was 100% able. All my disabilities that are stemming from military injuries came later on. So that's where some of the problems came in as well.
Gotcha. We're going to add Killian.
Killian!
Hi.
Everybody's in their car except Mom. That what's wrong with this?
You don't want me doing talking and driving, let me tell you.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm parked. So
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, what's happening with you, Killian? I haven't gotten to yours yet, as far as your information that you sent me for a resource yet.
I was just gonna jump on it for you. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
the biggest thing that I've heard about with the Recon Sniper Foundation is they offer a lot of outlets to non-professional sporting events that veterans can attend, and which is really cool because with it being started back in 2015, it was a group of recon dudes. Like there's some retired recondos, recon snipers, and like the next level corpsmen that help those guys out. I think SARCs is what they are. And so it was this group of these dudes, and it started out really small. And with the group of guys that started it, as well as the overall culture of the Marine Corps itself, the idea was to this, and this is just from what I've gathered, but there's a whole website on them. It was essentially just to keep veterans active, and it's grown to this day to not just assist in veterans, but also currently still active service members, as well as veterans and their families. And they do a lot of fundraisers, they do a lot of marches, they do a lot of hikes and stuff like that. And so, but they also vet their financial, trail, if you will. It's very well vetted and monitored, so that everybody's investment, the investors know that, or whatever donators, whatever their money goes to, they can see where it's going, and they make sure that they do the best they can to give back as well, with whatever investments, so and whether it's as small as assisting veterans with whatever bills they have, as well as other institutions as well. But the biggest thing is keeping veterans active, from what I understand.
That's huge.
So, like I said, they do a lot of marches, they do a lot of hikes and whatnot, just to raise awareness, but also provide a lot of outlets and assistance with mental health awareness, and as well as actual mental health assistance. So,
and that's huge.
They're pretty serious.
Everything. Yeah. You've got a lot of people that a lot of our veterans really need that, especially to help keep, some of those thoughts getting in our heads, and it helps them to keep their mind active instead of downward, and depressed and all of that.
Right.
So
a lot of people don't realize, though, even as veterans, you may not have issues when you first come out. It may be years down the road before something happens. It may be something tragic that triggers it down the road, and that's what I see a lot more nowadays.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like once you first get out and get settled, that's when it's like, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah. So I appreciate that. Thank you for that, Killian.
Yeah. I just wanted to put in my 2 cents about it, because I didn't find out about them until earlier this year. But like I said, they've been around since 2015, and by now that's a good amount of time. And so not just from a family perspective, but just from an actual service member's perspective, like, this content has a lot of potential, not just to have those conversations like your YouTube title, but also get those resources out there. So the more we can get foundations like the Recon Sniper Foundation out there, because it's not central, it's more west of the Mississippi, it sounds like, because they mentioned doing an event over in Colorado, like doing a hike up in the mountains up there. And
Oh,
as far
wow.
as,
That'd be awesome.
yeah, and as far southwest as like Southern California. And so they're a much wider based foundation. But still, even then, like I didn't hear about them until earlier this year. So,
And how did you hear about him?
so I actually saw one of their T-shirts. One of my buddies was wearing one of their T-shirts, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And my buddy is just like, "Oh, it's a veteran organization." I'm like, "Thanks, man. That narrows it down." So, yeah, we get pretty jaded sometimes with our job, but at the end of the day, like this is a really, really good outlet to get stuff like that out there. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Since you're talking about a list of resources right now. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's huge. I've got it. So,
yeah. And of course they've got merch and stuff. So you can buy like t-shirts, hoodies, whatever.
and that
but,
helps support them, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they have a very well written description on there that anybody can look up on that link that you've got posted as far as what they're about. So, yeah, that's my resource I want to throw in there. It's my 2 cents. So
That's awesome. I appreciate that. So,
Hey,
yeah.
Kelly.
what's
Hey,
that?
Kelly, you'd been proud of my daughter the other day.
Yeah, I'm still
She
working on getting you a
survived the
hoodie, by
Marine
the way.
Corps PT.
Yeah.
She's a friend of hers, Ben, is home from the Marines for a small vacation, and he conned her into going to PT. Now, my child has not done any physical PT in over a year. They did the Indian run with the kettlebell, and every time the kettlebell got dropped, they'd have to do 15 burpees.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, she's gonna learn in January.
No, this is my daughter that pulled this one. My 17-year-old, my little teeny tiny thing. And then there's this one kid that always dropped the kettlebell. They were threatening to run in front of him, so they didn't have to do no more burpees.
So G23 actually commented saying that Operation Recon Sniper has a shooting sport. They are in PRS and IPSIC. Ha!
Awesome.
I just read that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
All right.
We got to go shoot pumpkins. You coming to shoot pumpkins, Carly?
That is the goal. So hopefully we'll be able to get that done. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll hopefully get some good video too and share
Then
that.
I will see you next weekend, Carly.
Yep, indeed. So anybody else have any questions? All right, kid, we love you. Be careful.
Love you too.
But yeah. As far as resources, I am 45 minutes south of Nashville. So the closest resources for us until recently is Nashville. Now we do have in the process, our mall has been turned into a VA facility / cancer center. So I'm fixing to go check and see what they have soon too.
Well, there you go. You know, in addition to that, though, so you are south of Nashville. We're in the borough, and we have the huge VA.
Yeah, that's the ones that turned me down when I first got home.
Interesting.
Yeah, but a lot of things have changed since I've been home, too. I just haven't, with the way our family, taking care of family and stuff, I just haven't really took time to check on it. Now that things have slowed down, I'm taking more time to look in on things like that and see what benefits are out there. And I've learned that there are a lot more benefits now than even when I came home in 2003.
There you go. Yeah, I think you'll get some, hopefully you'll find some good answers with some of the resources that I've provided out there for y'all today.
Definitely. And I just wanted
Oh,
to jump on here and say thank you for starting this, not only for myself. I've got some other friends that are supposed to start jumping in as soon as they can. Right now, they seem to be working 7 days a week.
and unfortunately, that's kind of what's happening. Our people don't have enough staff for, their jobs, and they are ending up, unfortunately, having to really take advantage of who they do have just to get a job finished and completed. And so it's really tough. And, plus,
Yeah,
of
some of my friends that
course,
have, I've got a friend of mine, he has a construction crew and he hires vets over anything else and family members of vets over other things. And he went months and couldn't get material. And now all of a sudden, all the material is showing up and they're trying to get done before winter. So
right. Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
daylight, they're working. So they're not going home till it's nighttime.
Tennessee Goddess said today is Happy 10/22 Ruger Day. Woohoo!
Ooh.
Yes, that's an exciting thing. Anybody else have any questions out there? Anything that you want me to maybe look up for you and provide next time? Because I'm certainly happy to do that, and we can certainly provide you all the information that you need. If there's, anything of that nature, like I said, that you're looking for, we can certainly come up with some resources. If you know of anybody who, wants to talk, certainly feel free. My email is out there, conversationswithavet@gmail.com. We can hook anybody up with the resources we have. I'm not guaranteeing, what they can and can't do for anybody, but based off of what they have published, there is quite a bit of resources for our veterans, not just here in Tennessee, but across the U.S. So I want to make sure to let everybody know I really, really appreciate y'all coming on tonight. Actually, I think this is the largest that I've had since I started my show. So thank you very much for that. And again, next Saturday, be sure to join me, or next Sunday, excuse me. Don't even know what day of the week it is. Next Sunday, 6 p.m. I've got my show set up already, and my guest, hoping he's excited as I am to do this. I'm really excited to hear his story, and I think you're all going to really love him. So we're going to go ahead, throw some music on, and let's see. Yeah, I'm hoping, Jim, that this does actually grow. I really want to reach as many veterans out there as I can. I just love hearing the stories, giving them a safe place that they can talk to people and get their story out. So hopefully that's going to do that for them, and we can just keep it growing, keep it coming, and let people everywhere know that we're here. So, all right. So if we have nothing else, we're going to go ahead and just work our way out. Let's check one more time and see what we got. Christine, it's quite all right. I appreciate you jumping in. So, all right. Well, everybody have a wonderful evening and a great rest of your week coming up. And we'll see you again on Sunday. Also, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Y'all have a great evening.